Hello and welcome to What's Up London. I'm your host, Melissa Maloney. We have another amazing week here in the Forest City filled with inspiring stories, community connection, and local successes. Today's guests are making a difference in so many ways and helping people in need to empowering young leaders, fostering growth, and showcasing creativity. So let's get started. Our first guest is doing incredible work to help Londoners experiencing homelessness. The Arcade Mission is launching the Holiday Big Give campaign, a citywide effort to raise $500,000 to bring more people in from the cold this winter. Joining me is Sarah Campbell, Executive Director of Arcade Mission, and we are going to discuss all of this campaign and how you can support. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So excited to have you here. Such an important topic for us to discuss. In case people are living in a bubble and don't know about Arcade Mission and all the work that you've been doing, why don't we start with who is Arcade Mission?
Well, I have the privilege of working for Arcade Mission. We're at 696 Dundas Street. The organization is 40 years old, historically a soup kitchen. And in the last 5 years, as the issue of homelessness in our city has increased by 1,800%, our organization has also expanded dramatically. From a soup kitchen to now a multi-location 24/7 service that really accompanies people from the most basic of needs and initial relationship all the way to their journey to home.
Amazing. So you said that stat, that scary stat of an 1,800% increase in the last 5 years. What has that meant in terms of the different types of work that you're now doing at Arcade?
Well, absolutely. You know, from a place of connection, which is what Arcade was known for as a soup kitchen, to a place where we are really addressing like the everyday basic needs of more than 2,700 Londoners that are living unsheltered, unhoused in our city. You know, we've had to add to this the emergency winter response, which we've done every year for the last 5 years. We now have a place called the Cronin Warner location that has 70 people there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've housed over 170 people from that program. And we are now also part of some recovery housing projects. So, you know, we've really expanded the types of services that we're doing in response to the circumstances in our city. Mm-hmm. And the issue is we're still turning people away. And so we really want to do more.
Well, that's it. When you say 2,700 people and 170 beds, there's still a huge gap. So that $500,000 goal in the Big Give campaign that you're working on, let's talk a little bit about it and all the different ways that you're trying to raise funds and awareness and how the community can support.
Absolutely. We've been working in partnerships with churches and volunteers to offer nighttime indoor space in the winter. We actually now do it year round at our 696 Dundas Street location. And City Council passed a motion where they can't fund those night spaces. And so we really need to not only fund the ones there at the Arc, but add some more space this winter. There is no large initiative this year to bring people indoors, particularly at night. And so for $50 a night, every Londoner can help us to open 10,000 nights of rest for people who are otherwise going to be outdoors or in a vestibule somewhere trying to get warmth this winter. This is a life-saving measure. Mm-hmm. We've been doing it for multiple years, and we know if we come together as a community, we can make a big difference.
So let's dig into that $50 a night. So $50 a night helps get how many people into a warm space?
So that's one person, one bed, one night.
Okay.
For $50.
Okay.
But it includes, you know, a warm meal, a place of rest,
mm-hmm.
A place to sleep, and the staffing and the volunteers and the care necessary, the laundry, all of those elements that have to be done to provide that indoor resting space. An open door is a costly thing.
Yep.
If we don't have these spaces, I think it's important for Londoners to know that every sheltered bed in our city is at capacity. And so it means there's nowhere for people to go. And so these beds are critically important. When you see people anywhere, any neighborhood mm-hmm. in our city that's seeing this, if there's nowhere to direct people to, then they are where they are.
Definitely. So in our last sort of minute that we have, we could talk for an hour, I think. In the last minute that we have, how do you want people to engage? What are the different ways people can get involved? How can they support?
Well, this campaign is meant to be accessible to every Londoner. So we encourage you to go to the holidayBigGive.ca. You can make a donation right there of any amount. We'll collaborate those dollars to get those $50 a night to get people inside. Our goal is $500,000. We have an event taking place on November 25th 5th at the convention center. So people can buy a ticket and hear about the impact that together we're able to make. And then we've got a Know There's School Challenge. So high schools across the city are participating and gathering in-kind donations. That's the clothes and the food and financial donations, and we'll be celebrating one of those schools.
Awesome.
And then at every No Frills across the city, there's a way that you can give, purchasing a bag or making a financial donation there.
Amazing. So you've made it easy, you've made it accessible, so now we just all need to come together as a community and help.
Together we can definitely make a difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing, and we'll definitely get the word out for you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. We will be right back.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. That's right. You could get a monthly credit on your electricity bill. Apply at oesp.ca.
You start smiling, crawling with something in his mouth. I'm trying to open my eyes, but you know what? That's how they are. They're just small. Tink, tink.
Next up, we're talking about an initiative that's all about connection, mentorship, and community. Coray Connections is an extension of the Coray Trailblazer Awards happening November 5th at King's University College. Joining me today are Stacey Coray and Tariq Kifle, one of the partners in this inspiring event. They'll share how it's bringing together young Black professionals, students, and community members for networking, learning, and empowerment. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So to start, for those who aren't aware, can we maybe talk a little bit about how the awards started and who they are honoring?
Well, it started back in 2012 when my dad, Louis Coray, was awarded the London Police Services created the Louis Coray Trailblazer Awards back in 2012, and now I believe it's going to be 14 years in February of next year. And as we were going through that, we noticed that there is an opportunity to reach out to some of the youth in London, the Black youth in London. So we thought we could leverage what was happening with the Trailblazer Award and create something a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more of a workshop, mentorship opportunities like you were talking about for the young kids. So that was summer 2023.
Okay.
So in November the 5th, we're going to actually have that event at King's College.
Amazing. So your dad was the first Black police officer in London.
Correct. He was hired in 1951.
In 51?
1951.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So we've got this amazing day coming up at King's.
Yeah.
Were you part of the planning, all of the idea building for this?
Yeah, so I started my role at Thames Valley as a graduation coach for Black students about 2 years ago, and I was kind of invited by a community member to join the committee, and hearing what the goal was for, carrying on the Coray Connections, I thought, why not have a conference as a jump-off event?
Amazing.
I thought that would be a really great idea to kind of get our students we already have them. We have a couple of graduation coaches throughout both the Thames Valley Board and the Catholic Board. So why not just bring them to this event and kind of carry on what that mentorship could look like.
Amazing. So what types of things will be taking place at the event? Who's speaking? What does that look like?
So our main point of it is really that networking piece. So we have a variety of community partners from around London, as well as a couple of people from Toronto coming in as well. And then we also will have panelists. We have individuals who are doing their PhD at Western, software engineers. We also have the deputy chief, Trina McSween, as well, and Nicole Kanicki. We have a lot of individuals who are going to be on this panel, essentially talking about their lived experiences as Black professionals, as well as having multiple breakout sessions and facilitations, focusing on navigating culture, resume cover letter building, financial literacy, just in things that we feel that we need our Black youth to really connect with and get that information before they head out into the adult world.
I love that. Yeah. So when we're talking youth, that could mean a pretty big span. Who are you hoping to attract with this event?
So we are focusing on the ages of 17 to 35. Okay. It's quite a large range, but so for myself, I know I'm in my late 20s, I know that I'm still struggling with some of these things to navigate with. So it's awesome to have the opportunity to bring in, the kids that are just graduating from high school, our university students, and those who just graduated and are kind of navigating what career pathways they want to jump into.
I love that. Are you participating in the day then as well?
I participate by attending. Right now I haven't have a role there other than being involved. I think, excuse me, I'm giggling because Tariq is going to put through some sort of a spreadsheet for volunteers to get involved so that we're there making sure the event goes properly. And so I'll probably be involved in picking some kind of role for me to be there at the event.
I love that.
Right.
I love that. So I guess when we're looking at this, it's so important to bring people together. Like, I think there's so much power in mentoring and community and that side of things. If I'm, say, a young person who's a little bit nervous about that, what would you say to sort of help me understand that I am welcome and there is a spot for me here?
Yeah, so we're really pulling on our networking individuals, our mentors in this space to really bridge that gap between those conversations with our youth. I know as being a Gen Z, it's really nerve-wracking to go up to somebody and ask them, hey, can you help me? So we really want our table hosts, essentially is what we're calling them, to really bridge out that conversation and start those conversations instead of having our youth kind of lead them, because they're not there yet. They don't know how, and that's essentially what this day is about. Creating this space where they do feel comfortable, where they do belong, and that there are these people who are willing to support them. And there's that less pressure of being perfect. And I think that's kind of what we're navigating in this world right now, that perfectionism. And that's something that we're not really pushing on our students and our youth that are going to be involved in this event. It's let's make the mistakes now, have these individuals support us, and then let's move forward.
I love that, Tariq.
Yeah.
How can people connect? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so if individuals are still in high school, they can connect with their guidance counselors or their admin, and they have that information. We are only allowing 3 to 4 students per Thames Valley or Catholic school, just for space reasons, and then it's open to the community. You can find us on Eventbrite under the Coray Connections. And that's how they can find us.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you both so much for coming in and sharing this with us. We'll make sure to get the word out for you.
Thank you
very much.
We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. That's right. You could get a monthly credit on your electricity bill. Apply at oesp.ca.
Swing with a fly ball. Left field in deep. Rolls away to turns. Good!
Hi everyone, my name's Emily Febri. I'm also known as Ranger M. I'm an environmental communicator and educator, and I get to talk to a lot of different people about all things nature and conservation. I love to knowledge share, and that's what I want to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Our next guests are all about personal and professional transformation. Growth Day London is happening November the 6th at the Ramada Inn by Wyndham and is designed for anyone ready to take bold steps towards a better life. Joining me are Reed Lucier, owner of Top Headshots Photography, and Jerry Hall, founder of the new Millennial Success Academy. They're going to tell us how this one-day event helps attendees build confidence, strengthen leadership, and gain real tools to grow both personally and professionally. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you for having us here.
Super excited to have you. So what was the idea behind Growth Day London? Where did this start?
I think too often I've found that smaller to medium-sized cities like London, we have to travel outside the city for professional and personal development. You know, and a lot of times that gets very expensive, you know, with hotels and events. Many times I've actually gone to the States, or we have to take online courses.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that we just don't get to make these actual connections or create a community. So when Reed and I talked about this in the last couple of years, we said, let's put together some personal and professional development here in London, something that a lot of people had actually talked about. And so that was sort of like the genesis of why we're doing this, and we plan on doing them every 6 months.
Amazing. That's awesome. And so when you think about sort of who this type of day is for, is there a certain audience that you're trying to attract, or?
Yeah, so I think I do a lot of networking here in London, and I feel like we have a lot of great business professionals here. So the seminar was kind of put on for them, you know. We have our local speakers here, which is great to show off their personalities and their professional skills. And I think London business professionals here are getting a lot of it.
Okay, amazing.
And we wanted to have a forum where there's moms and dads.
Okay.
That maybe are looking to improve certain areas of life or take on a side business or do something different. So we wanted to give them tools and resources, you know, so that they can maybe build the confidence or learn the skills that they need to go out there and make this transformation in their life too. So we wanted to be almost all things to all people, but not be so generic that it waters it down.
Yeah. Right. When I look at sort of the topics that I've seen on who's speaking and what they're talking about, it is sort of that nice mix between education and almost inspiration of like creating ideas, creating thought, and perhaps doing something new, but also good for somebody who's just looking to learn at the same time.
Yes. Exactly. For this first event, we wanted to have the most balanced lineup as possible.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter who comes, where they come from, their background. I believe, and we believe, that there's something for everybody, that they're going to walk away empowered with some new tool and resource that can fundamentally change their lives to get a little bit closer to that person they always want to become. So for this inaugural event, we wanted to be really balanced.
Okay.
And we wanted to be something for everybody who attends.
Awesome. So we only have about a minute and a bit left, but if we want to sort of highlight some of the main topics or speakers, could we run through those a little bit pretty quick?
Yeah, I'll give it the ones that I hear the most people on. First of all, we have an incredible expert coming in the area of AI, and not the real big complicated stuff, but how to use AI in our everyday life to become more efficient and save time.
Nice.
Communication's another big one. We have the incredible Chris McCauley. He's coming in, who's an expert in public speaking and communication. We have an incredible people coming in the area of emotional intelligence, resilience, personal health and vitality.
Yep.
You know, we just have, like I said, a little bit for everybody. And in the area of AI and communications, those are big things for everybody, and we're going to cover all that.
Amazing.
And so much more.
Awesome. So where can people get tickets? How can they connect with you?
You can connect. We got growthdaylondon.com. .ca, and we got Eventbrite, and that's where you can buy your tickets.
Okay, amazing.
Yes, and you can follow us on Facebook as well.
Awesome. So we will definitely put up where people can get all of it and send people your way.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Join the high-energy bodyweight-based workouts of the Thunder Twins. Gerald and Harold will get all shapes and sizes up and moving. Catch the Thunder Mondays at noon.
My name is Chase Nicholas. I am a Mi'kmaq hockey player. Growing up, I always remember my family talking about the Mi'kmaq as the creators of the game of hockey. In grade 7, I did research on Mi'kmaq hockey sticks as the first sticks of the NHL. I found a Mi'kmaq hockey stick made in 1917, the same year the NHL was formed. I was surprised to find out the very stick I was holding was made by my great-great-grandfather, Alexander Cope. In 1934, an elder known as Old Joe Cope wrote a letter to the Halifax Herald claiming the Mi'kmaq created hockey. I found out later that I am a direct descendant of Old Joe Cope. There was a time when Mi'kmaq children were torn from their families and not allowed to speak their language, losing their words and stories. But the stories are coming back to us. Stepping on the ice, I take pride knowing the roots of the game of hockey stem from my ancestors in the Mi'kmaq Nation.
If you love music and supporting local talent, you'll want to tune in to Live from Quiet Earth. This new Rogers TV concert series is filmed in a heritage barn just outside of London and features incredible performances by local artists. Joining me are Mario Cercerelli and Brent Jones, producers of Live from Quiet Earth, and they're going to tell us what makes this show such a unique celebration of music and community and where you can watch it. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Excited to have you both, and I love this. I love this concept. So can we maybe talk about where this started and why, like what the inspiration was for this?
Okay, I'll field that question. Well, it's certainly something that myself I've been wanting to do for many years. Inspired, I grew up in the country outside of London, born in London, raised in on a farm. It's been my home base, much traveling, but a place of creativity, and it's been a lifelong pursuit of trying to capture the music in this region.
Amazing.
But it's always been a goal to put on concerts at the farm, and so when we renovated and restored the barn, it was a perfect spot to start to capture that. And inspired by shows like Austin City Limits, and also what was being done in Woodstock, New York, with from Levon Helm from the band, his barn concerts that he did. So that was the initial sort of inspiration for it.
I love that. So Mario, you are so involved in music and giving back to community in London. And so what inspired you to get involved in this project?
Everything about it is right. It's an incredibly unique venue. It's a picturesque venue. Brent has been doing a great job of bringing local bands and musicians through there. And when he approached me and said, are you interested in videotaping and helping to catalog and present these things, it was a no-brainer for me. As I said, it ticks all of the boxes. The venue's fantastic. The performances, as you know, my passion is all about local music. It's local musicians and bands. And in a lot of cases, these are some artists who would never have an opportunity to be professionally videotaped, yes, to have their set recorded and packaged up in a professional manner. As Brent said, you know, the Austin City Limits, that type of presentation. And when I came to Rogers, it was they were thrilled about it, which is fantastic. So we're supporting local talent, we're archiving it, we're showcasing a great venue. Everything about this project is right, and we're featuring a lot of Forest City London Music Award winners and nominees as well.
Amazing. And so, Brent, when we were talking at the start, we were talking about community and the importance of that live community and connection. Can you maybe talk a little bit about why you think that's so important right now?
Well, it's very much, what I love about this project, it is very much a collaborative experience, and there's so many people involved. You know, we're providing the space, but there's so many people that are a part of it, and it truly is a community in practice. And why that's so important is because just the world is extraordinarily challenged at the moment, and I think that's where we fractured our interactions with each other. And music is such an important thing to bring people together, and we've lost that. What it actually means. It's about community, it's about expression, it's about healing, and this is an environment that we can share that with, and set aside all the things that get attached to music, you know, ego and you know, prizes and or you know, tours and all that. We getting it right back to where it's born in the first place.
And the emotion and the feeling, and it is something that's always united.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I think it's really powerful. So as this is going to be live on, are they live shows on Rogers, or are they recorded and then?
Yeah, we're recording live shows and then we're packaging them up and then they're presented on Rogers. Eventually they'll be available on for streaming or YouTube, that kind of thing. But we're just so happy that Rogers is all over this and really supporting the local music scene, because these are folks who are deserving of this support. And when you see the show and you see some, you know, there's Brother Leeds and Kristen Renee and on and on and on. So many great musicians and artists. You'll realize that some of these bands can be on a stage anywhere in the world, and they're right here in our backyard.
And that's the thing is I've been very fortunate to travel, and one thing I that is instilled in me every time I go away is how incredible it is here. Like the incredible amount of resource and talent. We have so much to be proud of, and my friends that visit from overseas, they're the first to say, you are amazing. Like what you've produced in terms of culture and creativity and music, we have so much to be proud of, and this is our chance to share that.
That's amazing. We do need to end, but where can people follow or connect? Is there socials, or should they just watch on Rogers?
Watch on Rogers.
Okay.
We'll slowly be making them available on YouTube and such. But right now it's a Rogers thing, and we're
Perfect.
really happy about that.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you both for coming in and telling us all about it. This sounds so exciting.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
And that's it for today's episode of What's Up London. From community care and connection to creativity, innovation, and leadership, our guests remind us that London is full of people doing amazing things. Be sure to follow and share today's guests on social media, check out their events, and of course, follow their sites. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and be kind. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Because in John's Gospel, using the word seen, he uses those words more often than any other writer in the New Testament.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running.